Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbie. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of GRCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. On this platform, we discuss authentic urban news across the diaspora. If you're joining us for the first time, please hit that like button, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page. We encourage our listeners worldwide to engage with us by leaving a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this YouTube page. Disclaimer: this content is for educational and informational purpose only. It is based on public available reports and verified media sources. We fully comply with YouTube's community guidelines. We do not promote violence, hate, or misinformation in any form. This audio podcast is available in two forms: audio and also as a written text, in order for us to reach our audience. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast is our Black media component of GRCAM. I would like to encourage my listeners to subscribe to my Medium page where you can follow along during this podcast. I provide my Medium transcript in the comment section below this audio podcast. Also, I provide the links to my backup Facebook page in the comment section as well. I created this platform to give people on my Facebook backup page and people in my social groups who are Black artists, African artists, such as authors, comedians, fashion designers, filmmakers, models, musicians, poets, gospel singers, spiritual leaders, as well as Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs. Please make arrangements with me to come on this platform so that you can promote your books, your business, your music, or if you have a small ministry, then please share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast, YouTube channel, and Wix website for their business or ministry. I also assist them with finding college grants and scholarships and legal services, all for free. GRCAM is about raising the bar in Black America. There will be protocol put in place to separate ourselves from con artists, Black boule, degenerates, Democrat shields, hardened criminals, pedophiles, off-code Negroes, and urban terrorists. All of the principles in my revised book is the code for GRCAM members. Those who are not a part of us, we will pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. I do not operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. The sooner we get this film project fully funded and made, the sooner we can build the Eye of Chicago. This business is not about me. It's about GRCAM members and their families. It's about improving our community and meeting the needs of the African American community, as well as the African immigrant community. It's my hope that we will build this movement together, a movement that will not put politics over our interests, a movement that refuses to let the same insiders who have done nothing for decades keep holding on to power without accountability. We're nonpartisan, we're independent, and we're not affiliated with anyone. We're M1, meaning we are melanated first. Our focus is on solving Black issues at the community level. So, in other words, while I'm here in America, our focus is on solving Black American issues at the local level. Once I expand this business over to the African continent, our focus will be on solving African issues Once we expand to the Caribbeans, our focus will be on solving Caribbean issues. Once we go to Latin America, our focus will be on solving Latin American issues. I will never forget where I came from or who I'm fighting for. Let's make real change happen together. The grassroots community activist movement is here, and we welcome Black entrepreneurs, Black artists, and African artists. Our aim is to move GRCAM from behind the computer to the big screen, then until the African American community, and provide a family friendly atmosphere rooted in solidarity and making a positive impact within the African American community and the African immigrant community. I want to do more than just news and social commentary, but for right now, this is where I'm at. Without support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my God given assignment. I've been paying out of pocket for my business title since 2010. I pay the city, state, and the IRS. In other words, I'm just losing money. It's not cool at all. It's very frustrating what I'm going through. But again, this is why I created this platform because I want to broadcast my vision and plan to those that were here beyond Chicago. I'm trying to connect with like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants beyond Chicago. And our goal is to get this thing popping here in the city of Chicago. But I gotta first get my management team in place first, because right at this point in time, it's just me and Sister Renee. And we can't. This is a Nehemiah assignment. I can't do all this stuff by myself. This is why I have to make this docudrama in order to reach the Black masses and the Black world. Because truth be told, the white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying my revised book. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from patronizing my virtual store. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from donating to my film project. That's a personal choice. That's Willie Lynch in real time, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what I'm up against, a 400-year mentality. But I am called to create the best African American business within the United States of America. But I can't build this business alone. It's going to take GRCAM members to help build this business. And that's what this is all about, bottom line. My film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group, Black Americans, before I cut and run to Africa. Mark your calendar for our next monthly virtual interactive conference, Saturday, July 26, 2025. Join us in this virtual interactive conference. Everyone on my Facebook page, everyone in my social groups, and all social media sites that I'm on, such as Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and X, are welcome. On this platform, we're genuine, sincere, transparent, and authentic. I'm looking for 5 or more people to be on the panel so that we can discuss the topic. If you are serious about being on the panel, then please send me your email address to my Facebook inbox. Then I will email you the link on how to get on the show. And also I'll tell you other things about the process. Once I finish my presentation, then I will open up the show for Q&A. This is called side um, that will be called side B. Because first, I want to give my presentation. That's side A. Side B is, when I let my panel come on and do their presentations, and then we'll open it up for general Q&A. And I prefer to see you on camera first before you come on the show to avoid trolls. This event will help expand your network, enhance your profile visibility, and make more meaningful connections with the global community. Theme: the reason why Africa remains undeveloped is because of neo-colonization, where Zoom/Facebook Live time, 2 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian time, 8 p.m. West African time, 9 p.m. South African time, 10 p.m. East African time, and 8 p.m. UK time. Title of this presentation: GRCAM aims to build economic ties with 10 African nations and why the Democrats' approval rating is low. Our first topic: GRCAM aims to build economic ties with 10 African nations. A lot of people on TikTok have been talking about an article from the African Report entitled, quote, Diaspora Initiatives Look to Tap into $1.7 trillion African American Purse, unquote. This article was written back in 2023 during the Biden Harris administration. The article was talking about how South Africa is targeting market for the African diaspora and friends of African investment. According to the article, African Americans' buying power could reach $1.7 trillion by 2030. Only a tiny fraction of it ends up in Africa. The African Union and the Biden administration are promoting the diaspora as a key potential source of funding for the continent. A coalition of Black business leaders is coming together to help turn things around. In October, they announced the first and what they envision as a series of African diaspora and Friends of African investment summits over the coming years. Let's just keep it a buck. Everybody in the world knows the spending power of Black Americans. That's why white America really don't want us to leave en masse from the United States of America because of our buying power. Our buying power greatly affects the GDP, gross domestic product of the American economy. If you remove Black Americans from the American economy, it's going to take a major blow and could spiral into a recession. The white supremacist financial elites need one thing from Black Americans to help keep their economy afloat. That is our Black dollars. We need to work on our spending habits as a collective. Some of us spend because we want to look a certain way. Others spend our money on name brand items because we have self-esteem issues. This is why we prioritize material things like clothes, shoes, and cars. All of these things to make ourselves feel better. Unfortunately, we don't practice group economics and take that $1.7 trillion and recycle that money back into the African American community. Our biggest problem is that we spend our money in every other community and we don't keep it within our own community. Black Americans make billions of dollars for these other groups. For 33 years, I've been preaching to Black Chicagoans to work with me in building the best African American business within the United States of America. But either they sit up here and poke fun of me or dismiss my ideas as being unrealistic. This is why my business will be membership based. We will separate ourselves from these off code Negroes who don't want to build anything for our next generation. This is why I'm reaching out to African immigrants from 10 African nations. They are as follows: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. I understand that you came over here to live out your American dream, but I need your help. For the past 33 years, Black Chicagoans has rejected and overlook my vision and plan to help improve the African American community. Reason why you're able to reach your American dream is because of my ancestors who fought and died during the civil rights era to help get African immigrants, Afro Caribbeans, and other non white immigrants to come to this country. Truth be told, the white supremacist financial elites only wanted European immigrants here. Pan Africanism is one-sided, one side only. Because African immigrants, Afro Caribbeans, and Afro Latinos benefit when they arrive over here due to the civil rights struggle. They have access to education, immigrant loans, housing, and employment. When Black Americans come to Africa, we have to come with a bag to get, and we don't get any benefits. We are looked upon as foreigners, not as displaced Africans. And so I want to put an end to that. Again, in my business, GRCAM, we want to compete against Pan-Africanism because they've been out for 160 years. You know, it's good, the ideas and all that. Again, I respect Marcus Garvey, but again, the problem I have with him is that the fact that uh, he took God out of it, so he, don't have nothing to do with the Lord. That's one thing. I have an issue that he accepted donations from the Ku Klux Klan. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? You don't believe me, do the research. This is the information age. Look it up yourself. And finally, I have an issue that he never went to Africa himself, but he went over to Europe. He was educated in Europe, and he even died in Europe. Um, in my case, I'm still on first base 33 years. It's extremely frustrating. I don't like what I'm going through. Trying to do something, build something productive and positive, trying to connect with, like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants. It's hard because everybody's not on my page. A lot of people that I run across, they're full of game, want to play con games, and I ain't with that. I ain't with that at all. I'm about raising the bar. I'm about trying to really make a real positive impact in our inner city, starting here in the city of Chicago. But everything I've written in my book, too, I'm standing on business. All I want my listeners to do for me, all of you that's serious, please purchase my revised book and read my story for yourself. Quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, second edition. It's available in two forms, as an ebook for $9.99 or as a softcover book for $15 plus shipping and handling. In order to know what you're getting yourself involved with, read my story. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then you will automatically become a GRCAM member. Anyone that disagrees with my vision and plan, my suggestion to you is delete me off your friends list and do not come to no events with my name on it. And that's real. I don't put on no front. And again, the reason I created this platform, because I'm trying to broadcast my vision and plan to those beyond Chicago. Because all the people here in Chicago, I have little to no support. It's a straight up turn off, but I'm doing the best that I can to get this thing to the next level. First, we will connect with African American community. Then we want to unite with the African immigrant community. That's the main thing with me. We will push to get my revised book on that bestsellers list so that way the Black world will know who we are and what we're trying to do for our brothers and sisters who are trapped in American ghettos, specifically Black Chicago. Secondly, we will do our best to get our film project fully funded and made so that the Black world will take our cause serious. The proceeds from the film will help put me in a better position financially to purchase property in Chicago, Illinois, buy office equipment, and hire qualified Black middle class professionals and qualified African immigrants to help me build the best African American business within the United States, and that is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. That's all I'm trying to do. And then I'm going to turn the business over to my management team, and then I'm going to expand to South Africa. When I go to South Africa, I'm going to apply for dual citizenship to prove to Native Africans that I mean business. Now, I'm not on here trying to hide behind no computer just to be running off at the mouth. Also, I'm going to create GRCAM of South Africa. I want to hire local Black South Africans and do the best that I can to get that business up and running there. And we're going to shoot our second film in South Africa, and that film is entitled African Liberator: Battle Against the Colonized Mindset. And then I would like for us to expand going first eastward. We're going to hit East Africa, you know, and make our presence known. Again, um, the different African nations that I want to hit on the East Africa would be Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda. Then we're going to go over to West Africa, make our presence known, or set up local chapters and make our presence known in Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria, and then down to Angola. But that's all I'm trying to do. And so that way we can do international trade with our brothers and sisters on the continent. We're going to replicate the same business because even though I want to make sure I have an African, uh, you know, embrace the African culture and all that, but I want descendants of American slaves to be a part of this so that way we have both groups working together as one, and we're going to solve our own issues at the African level, if that makes sense, or African issues, on the continent. Bottom line, that's what I'm trying to do. But it's not easy because again, I'm getting so much pushback. This is just it's just ridiculous. Um, Black Americans will heal from that slave mentality, and also we're going to declare war on that Willie Lynch mentality, which is the slave mentality, because that for the 400 years is up. 2019 has marked 400 years, so we want to break that. Also, African immigrants will heal from the colonized mindset. We both of us have been separated from each other for 400 years due to the transatlantic slave trade imposed by the white supremacist financial elites. The, the transatlantic slave trade was a horrific system where millions of Africans were forcefully transported across the Atlantic Ocean to the New World, which my ancestors had built, and now it's called the United States of America. This brutal system spanned from the 16th to the 19th centuries, involving the capture, transportation, and sales of enslaved Africans for forced labor on plantations. In GRCAM, Chicago, both Black Americans and African immigrants will respect each other, culture, learn how to do business together, and for us to replicate the business um, to each African nation that we're going to visit, as mentioned earlier. Again, I want to turn the business over to my management team, and I want to lead by example by going to South Africa and applying for dual citizenship in order, that's for my credibility too. I want people to know that this is real. And I want to make sure none of my members under my leadership will never have to endure this type of foolishness I went through. Cut off those anchors. Anybody that's in your life that ain't, that's trying to put down your dreams and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if they're family members, if they're your friends, you just do what you have to do. Well, don't tell them what you're doing then. They're going to be negative. But as for me and my house, and that's what's going to be in my docudrama, how I dealt with it. I push anybody out of my life if they start talking that's crazy to me, telling me about leave this alone, what I'm trying to do, and just go ahead and get a quote unquote real job. Work that means working for the white man. That defeats the whole purpose. I'm trying to create a black owned business that we can own and control ourselves, but it's going to be GRCAM members. And those that rejected me for the past 33 years, ain't nothing changed. I'm still standing on business, but you won't be a part of my business. And that's how come I want, doing mandatory orientations, I want people to see me in real life. Once we have that business up and running on the west side of Chicago, we're going to cover Austin, Garfield Park, and North Lawndale, and eventually on the south side of Chicago. Replicate it. But as I stated in the book, it was my hope that, we could get the business expanded, in 25 cities. But yo, it is 33 years later, I'm still on first base. So I just want to focus on Chicago and that's it. And I want to, just go over to the African continent and work with Africans that want more out of life. Do the best that I can. But I want to make sure before I cut and run that I'm going to be able to sustain myself in Africa. That's why it's very important that we get this business popping here. That's why I'm reaching out to African immigrants. You're going to play a vital role in this because you're going to go down in history with me and Sister Renee. You're also going to be part of the film project because this is what the film is going to be about. All this stuff I've been trying to get off the ground for the past 33 years. It's not cool that I had to endure this type of foolishness, but it is what it is. Um, so getting back to my presentation, uh, I want all of my members to become global citizens, and I want to help Black Americans that are GRCAM members to use their talents in exchange for dual citizenship in each African nation that we set up our local chapters in. So the question, how will the global African family benefit from GRCAM Chicago? Well, we will come to your nation and establish a business relationship in your country in order to help improve your economy through tourism, as well as having a local chapter in each nation that we visit. We're going to employ as many people as we can based on our budget and sponsorship. You know, this is going to be a nonprofit business as well as a for-profit business. The for-profit business, this is where I'm going to make my bread and butter. We're going to own and control our own community grocery store, community healthcare clinic, and community housing because everybody needs food, healthcare, and housing. And so basically, GRCAI is going to be a multi-purpose facility. We want to do more than just people just coming to a physical building. We want to offer services that's going to make major impacts in the community that we serve. We want to show love to the community, and we want all our members to reach their personal life goals, and we're going to help you do that in this business. Again, we want to make sure though that we screen people or vet, because we want to make sure we separate ourselves from other melanated people that in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites that might try to undermine us. Got a lot of off-code Negroes out here. It's a doggone shame, and it runs deep. I have a lot of people that's in my family that's that have that slave mentality. So I can't pass my business down to my family members because they're full of Willie Lynch, a majority of them. But that's why this is going to be membership based. I can pass the business down to GRCAM members. I got to make sure that I'm connecting with people that's on code and that's going to sign that community pledge and that's going to submit their thumbprint to be placed in our database because I want to make sure that we just keep ourselves clean from these con artists, these people that don't mean us any good, people that want to waste time sitting up debating. Well, I ain't got time to debate. You ain't gonna change my mind. Nobody will. That's why I say no man or woman on earth is gonna change the vision that my creator has given me. I stand on that 10 toes down. All I'm trying to do is get the thing popping and connect with the right, uh, like-minded Black American, like-minded African immigrant that's on business. Um, the ball is in your court. I must say to the Black grassroots and to the global African family because I'm just one Black man with a vision and a plan. It takes a team to make a dream work. Work with me while I am alive. Don't wait until I'm dead. I'm trying to get this thing off the ground, but it takes a team to make a dream work, and this is a Nehemiah assignment. The slave mentality continues to be passed down to the next generation instead of us passing down our own Black businesses that will generate generational wealth. For example, let's use LeBron James. All he does is run up and down the basketball court and shoot, shoot ball, shoot baskets. Okay, he's making big money for the white supremacist financial elites, but he's not investing that money back into the African American community. Notice, Black Americans do not have one Black owned NBA team in America. Not, I'm not talking about part of an ownership. I mean owning the whole thing. Notice, Black Americans don't have one Black owned NFL team in America. No matter how great a Black man is on the court or on the football field, that money is not circulating back into the African American community. And this is what I be trying to explain to GRCAM members and people that I used to talk to when I used to do street ministry. Because I like the balance. I like to focus. I don't just focus on the pie in the sky. In my business, I want to focus on have a balance, but I want to give young people an opportunity, young Black youth as well as young African youth, an opportunity to put money in their pockets. That's why we want to do Black empowerment films. That's why I wrote my book. I'm trying to generate capital. I'm not just sitting up here asking for donations. It's a transition. Read my story for yourself. So I want to connect with people that got some sense. I understand I can't help everybody. It is what it is. I want to work with those that want more out of life, bottom line. All that money is going back into the white American community. If it wasn't for us, they couldn't live the good life. The white supremacist financial elites use entertainment in the form of sports and music to get rich off of Black talent so that they can live a lavish lifestyle. They view us as a cash cow, just like their forefathers did when they had our ancestors on the plantation. The white supremacist financial elites don't want us as a collective to leave America in mass because it will hurt their economy. Think about it. All the money we've been spending, in reality, we are funding our own oppression. Our black dollars help fund foreign wars, rogue cops who harm us, and it also maintains their system of white supremacy in the area of arts and entertainment, economics, education, government, media, and religion. If we relocate to an African nation, then we ain't spending a dime in America. That's taking money away from them. My only issue with the African continent is that I don't want the US government involved with nothing we're doing in Africa. Um, when they're talking about something needs to be redirected. So that makes me feel suspicious. So no. When I come to Africa, I'm coming as a businessman. Again, I am the founder, president, and CEO of GRCAM, as well as GRCAI of Chicago. But right now, it's still GRCAM because GRCAI of Chicago. I do have that title, but it's going to take GRCAM members to help build that. So it doesn't. I don't have a physical building at this time. That's why I'm trying to do the film. And whatever money I earn from that film proceeds, I'm going to use that to hire, my management team and all that stuff that I talk about in the book. In the article, it says there's a lot of opportunities working with Black Americans. Here's my issue with all this investment talk. Invest in what? What do we need to invest in? If you going to offer me an opportunity to invest in the diamond mines or gold mines, well, show me the investment over there, and I will do my research. Unfortunately, some Black Americans end up getting scammed, like those land scams in Ghana and Nigeria. Unfortunately, I will work with a certified African attorney, government official, law enforcement, and local African media to make sure everything is legit. That's how I get down. Because I'm not trying to get scammed. I'm trying to do something positive. That's why I'm trying to come back to the African continent. But before I come to Africa, I got to get the business popping here for credibility. I can't stand scammers who scam people out of their hard work and money. So if I come across a scammer, we're going to have protocol in place to deal with those persons. And we can't deal with them like we want to because, we in the white man's country. It is what it is. In Africa, we can deal with them a little more. I'm just letting you know this is the wrong type of business to be trying to scam somebody because I ain't with that, and there will be consequences for any scammers that come around me, and that's real. Why do we have to come to the African continent and follow the same rules as Europeans and white Americans? We, when we come to Africa, we have to go through the same visa process as foreigners. I want Native Africans to view me. I can't speak for nobody else, but to view me as displaced African because we did not volunteer to come to the New World. Our ancestors were forced. I understand if we want to apply for permanent residency, we have to go through the same procedures as Europeans and I would say white Americans until African nations starts offering Black Americans dual citizenships in exchange for our talents and skills to help improve the African economy. Is going to be an issue. You want our money, you want us to invest, but Africa is not offering us any incentives. That's just like that Pan African stuff. And that's something I'm against. I'm against that Pan African because it's one sided. GRCAM is about, I want to make sure that um, I would say African immigrants and descendants of American slaves, both of us are treated equally up in this business. Now, non-black sympathizers, they want to be a part of us. Again, I don't operate like the next black man. Shoot, you come up in my house, you, I need to know up front, where do you stand as it pertains to lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves? If you're against it, then you can't be a part of this business. It's just that simple. If you're for it, then you have to take a back seat and keep your mouth closed because over here we're about solving black issues, point blank. Nothing else on earth matters to us. That's just how it is. In Africa, it'll be the same thing. We're going to focus on solving African issues, point blank. We're taking the lead. In this business, we're not going to be colonized. But Black Americans don't want me to come out. Again, it's been 33 years. It is what it is. Trying to do something. I'm not interested in writing more books. I want to write or I want to create effective and successful Black businesses that can be passed down to the next generation. That's what I'm on. Your African governments don't want the diaspora to come back in masses, but they want our money. A lot of Black Americans don't want nothing to do with African continent because they feel a certain way about our former kings who were responsible for selling our ancestors to the Europeans. This is why it's so important for CAM members to work with me directly in building the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago so that both like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants can learn from each other, for us to heal, from scars of slavery and colonization. We're going to heal, um, and that's the main thing. We need to heal before we can expand the business to the African continent. I want members of GRCAI, GRCAI of Africa, to encourage like Americans to invest in what we have to offer, such as um, I would say the African diamond mines, um, gold mines, art, food, films, and music. Vice versa. I want the kind of Chicago. So to encourage our African brothers and sisters on the continent to trade, do international trade with us, so we can trade our films, music, arts, food. That's what this is all about. Um, and again, uh, we're all going to be on the same page, and I want to make sure that all my members benefit from this business, a legitimate business where you don't have to run from the pops and be looking all over your shoulder. We legit. The only thing is, I'm gonna make sure that we have armed security as well as drones. That's how I get down. Drones to fly around our for place of business when we have it. Just make sure that everybody's gonna be feel safe, comfortable. Make no sense, we have to go through all this unnecessary drama. Life is too short for that. But that's what I'm on. Um, I want I want to make sure we can redirect resources and opportunities back into the African American communities and neighborhoods as well for the betterment of our future generations. Listen, investment can work, but number one, you got to go there and build business relationships. And I'm talking about on the African continent. But again, before I go to Africa, I want to make sure I get it popping here in America first, again, for credibility. Now, out of those 10 African nations that I mentioned, if I only get five African immigrants from five African nations, we're only going to go to five African nations then. It is what it is. But I'm on business on the real. And this is my credibility. This is why how come I do this show? I'm documenting what I'm trying to do. Not just some dude just sitting up here running off at the mouth. But again, it is what it is. Number two, you have to build a network of good people who are standing on business, and you have to be able to trust them. In an ideal world, we really could source a lot of things out in Africa and bring it back here to our communities. But when you have people like Akon talking about building Wakanda City, when I first heard that well, Akon City thing, he hadn't built a city in the United States. How is he going to build a city over there? He hasn't built a neighborhood, let alone a city. He was talking about building a city that would run on cryptocurrency. They showed all of these pictures, but my question is why didn't Akon just build a neighborhood here in America first and then expand it to Africa? I'm just saying. I always look at people's track record until we can get dual citizenship someplace else. We have to build here. My biggest problem talking about the $1.7 trillion is that we don't want to work with each other as a group. I wish that we can come together, translate into more unification among like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants in our cities, more unification in our businesses. We need the Black banks and Black credit unions to give us business loans and home loans. Let's look what's going on with Howard University. Our Black children are getting $20,000 bill and I think that's just for one semester. They can't afford this. And this is why Black America needs to embrace my vision and plan while we still have a little time left. It's going to get even worse for our children if we miss this opportunity. Howard University gets a lot of money from the federal government. If Black America was on code with GRCAM, we could fix these issues like the HBCUs and other things. Reason why a lot of them get away with this mess is because we haven't been checking the Black Boule. That's $1.7 trillion should be circulating within our institutions, within restaurants. We need doctor's office, we need clinics, we need hospitals. Black America needs the pie of Chicago. Bottom line. It's my hope and prayer that it would spread across the United States for the sake of our children. We need to circulate our money around the African American community as well as the African immigrant community. You need to have a strong, I would say, alliance. Now that we are delineating, let's start solving issues within our community, like confronting all of this urban gentrification taking place within our communities. Black Americans want to live in a community with law and order, too. We can argue about all these other groups all day long, but we need to focus on Black American business first. We got a lot of issues that we need to focus on in our communities. HBCUs and Black leadership is a disgrace because we're not monetized. We need to monetize our community, monetize our land. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share it with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Our second topic, why the Democrat approval rating is low. I found an article from The Hill entitled, quote, Democrats Underwater in New Poll, unquote. To read the full article, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comments section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. In layman terms, the reason why the Democrats crashing out is because the black grassroots are starting to get on code in large numbers across the nation, and we're not allowing these career politicians to change our focus. Trump has been making chess moves on them. Trump is cracking down on illegal immigrants. Trump said the 14th Amendment was for the babies of slaves. The Democrats are the ones who include all these other groups to benefit off our struggle. They are demand we are demanding economic tangibles in exchange for our vote. They're underwater because of Black Americans. We are becoming more politically mature. For decades, I've been warning GRCAM members about how the Democrats just assumed they were going to continue to get our vote without doing anything for us. The Black grassroots has led to a political awakening, strategic advocacy specifically for descendants of American slaves slash freemen. We've been standing on business. We've been going to these reparation hearings and town hall meetings. We're demanding economic tangibles in the forms of cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves slash freemen. And we're also pushing for an anti-Black hate crime bill. Our people are waking up to these but benign and neglect policies by both Democrats and Republicans, but a majority of our votes go towards Democrats. So that's the reason why we give them smoke. We are encouraging more of our people to get off the Democrat plantation. Many of our people got caught up when the Democrats played like were going to do a study, reparation studies, form a commission, all these delays, tactics. We saw all that money and resources went directly to these illegal immigrants in real time. No study, no commission. They gave Ukrainians a blank check and LGBT organizations. These illegals are getting set up in hotels, getting food stamps, job training, health care, and legal protection. The Democrats are prioritizing non citizens who can't vote. Now there's a growing delineation movement that has come about to separate ourselves from these other groups. We don't need to be with people who just want to leech off of us. We don't need to be with a bunch of parasites. We got social media in our favor. We're creating our own content that's replacing MSNBC and CNN, who are trying to hijack the narrative. There are new voices out here that's not afraid to expose these sellouts within our community. According to Forbes, in New York, they announced that $50 million of New York City taxpayer dollars will be used for illegal immigrant legal fees because of Governor Kathy Ho, no, forgive me, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but I'll spell it. Last name is Hochul. I think it's pronounced Hochul. New York State is notorious for depriving Black citizens of their rights through the court system. For example, he lost Leaf Breyer case. The Democrats never made it a priority to make sure we had legal representation. According to the Center Square, quote, Illinois prioritized 3.2 billion for immigrants, leaving working families behind. Legislator, unquote. They will tell me and you that the city don't have nothing to give to our community, but they have billions of dollars for illegal immigrants and their communities. See the double standard. They are demonstrating to us what the abuse of power looks like. LA double standard. Mayor Karen Bass hands out cash payments to illegal immigrants. No study, no committee. I read an article from the LA Times entitled, quote, LA will provide cash assistance to migrants affected by raids, unquote. To read the full article, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. The Democrats in LA will provide cash assistance to illegal immigrants affected by ICE raids. Mayor Karen Bass in Los Angeles, California, has decided to give cash payments of $50,000 to illegal immigrants because they have been dealing with the repercussions of their actions for breaking immigration laws. So the Democrats in California once again are rewarding criminal behavior. According to the article, LA will provide cash assistance to illegal immigrants affected by Trump administration immigration raids. These are your black representatives who do nothing for us, but they want our vote. According to the article, aid will be distributed using cash cards with a couple hundred of dollars available in a week. Mayor Bash said people don't want to leave their homes to go to work. They need cash. You hear that? One of my associates that lives in Los Angeles told me that there are a lot of American citizens who are homeless in LA. A majority of them are Black Americans. What about American citizens? They need direct cash payments too. It's amazing when we ask for something, all of a sudden, these career politicians say we can't just do something just for Black Americans. Those American citizens also need help. Rent and food is extremely high in California. It was these Democrats who created sanctuary city policies in these urban cities to cause conflict among Black Americans and illegal immigrants over basic resources. They dumped them into the African American community. I warned Black Chicagoans for the past 33 years to embrace my vision and plan, but a majority of them took me for joke. Now my words are starting to come to pass. The downfall of Black America will be the slave mentality within Black society unless we deal with it head on before it's too late. These other groups are coming from Latin America already having an anti-Black sentiment from their homeland. They don't care about our history and what we've been going through in America. They came over here to get the bag and to compete against our group and our children. I am trying to recruit brave and smart, like-minded Black Americans, brave and smart, like-minded African immigrants beyond Chicago to work with me in turning my vision and plan into a reality. I'm trying to gather my management team from across the United States of America to get involved with my film project. This is spiritual warfare in real time, ladies and gentlemen. My film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group, Black Americans. For 33 years, I've been putting my reputation on the line. This is why I created this platform to broadcast my vision and plan beyond Black Chicago. I'm not getting pushback from white America. I'm getting pushback from Black America, the same people I'm trying to serve. And that's a doggone shame. But this is why I'm just saying, it really affected us, that slavery situation, because this mess is passed down. But we have to break that mentality. We had this going on for 400 years. Our grandparents, in the 60s, they did pretty well. But Dr. King was pushed by, I'm just saying, he was just pushed real hard um, about this integration. And that's what messed Black Americans up. They should have just focused on having equal access to resources, and that's it. And just stayed under Jim Crow, if that's what they wanted to do, stay in America. But I as for me in my house, I want to reclaim my ancestral homeland, Africa. But before I go to Africa, I want to make sure I get my business popping here in America first for credibility, so that way I can sustain myself when I go to Africa. And also so that I can be in a position to hire people to help me run my business when I'm in Africa. And I want to be able to provide them a living wage. That's all I'm trying to do. And I gave a Black American, 33 years of my life, and it is what it is. And that's like a jail sentence. But I don't want to die in America. I want to bring my business to the African continent and work with Africans that want more out of life for real. Um, Global African family, if you're serious about me getting my business um, and bringing it to your continent, then please purchase my revised book, read my story, and put me on blast. Help me help make this audio podcast go viral. Help make my video podcast go viral. All of that. Put me on blast. Don't sit up here and laugh at it and say, "Oh, this is boring. This is not interesting." Because our children and the future of Black people and African people depends on this. I'm doing the best that I can, but again, I don't operate like the next man, because I want to make sure that whoever I get myself involved with, that they're going to be on the up and up. I'm not trying to get ripped off. And if you do try to rip me off, well, I'm just saying, if you're here in America, I'm just going to take you to federal court. That's how come right now my focus is on America. If you're on the African continent, I can't, it is what it is. We're separated. But if you're serious, then I need African immigrants to get on board, work with me. All I'm asking you to do is read my story. If you disagree, then delete me off your friends list and go on about your business. It goes for anybody. Um, all right, let's see where I'm at. At this point in the game, Black America has two choices: either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. I'm only responsible for GRCAM members. Those who not a part of us, again, we pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. The sooner we're able to get this business up and running, the sooner I'm able to turn the business over to my management team and expand it to South Africa. Don't be mad at illegal immigrants for coming over here. Blame the root problem. That's the Democrats for pushing their open border policies. This is what made them feel emboldened and entitled. They assume what they did is not criminal, but rather a misdemeanor. All of these other groups are benefiting off our ancestor struggle and off our vote. So keep that in mind, Black Americans. I thank God for delineation. Now I have a better chance at recruiting like minded Black content creators and like minded African content creators to work with me in spreading my vision and plan to help improve Black America and Africa. What these Democrats are doing openly against us should be a real wake up call. If the 92% of Black women who helped raise $1 million in 3 hours for former Vice President Kamala Harris political campaign would use that same if they would use that same energy to help me raise $250,000 for my film project, then we as a people would see an impact in Black Chicago. Mark my words. My my issue isn't with immigrants. My issue is with the Democrat Party prioritizing illegal immigrants over American citizens. Right now in Mexico, Mexican citizens want Americans to leave because they're gentrifying their communities, they're raising the prices of food and rents, they're telling Americans that they also need to speak Spanish. They're telling Americans they need to pay taxes in Mexico. Expats are getting beat up. White Americans go and buy up properties left and right. The Democrats are practicing discrimination by treating others differently, not by race or color, but through citizenship status. That's still a form of discrimination. They are saying if you're in North America illegally, we will not comply with federal law enforcement. But if you're a legal citizen, then law enforcement can be used to investigate you, to arrest you, and or to detain you. I have a question for Democrats. Do you want to win future elections? Immigration is going to be a losing issue for them. Most Americans aren't down with prioritizing immigrants over American citizens. We got the midterm coming up in 2026. The Trump administration sued the city over sanctuary city policies, arguing that it discriminate against organizations like ICE. My question to Black Americans, how do y'all feel about Karen Bass? How do you feel about the Democrats giving money to illegal immigrants because of their run in with ICE? My question to single Black mothers who had a man in the household, but he got arrested for some reason. He was the sole provider. Listen up, Black Americans. If you don't want your city to turn into another LA, the black vote the black vote will become neutralized. You better stand against these Democrats. Get involved with your city council and every part of your local government. One thing we're not going to do, we're not going to sit up here and cape for people that chose to come here voluntarily. Notice none of these other groups are complaining about what Mayor Karen Bass giving out money to illegal immigrants. But as soon as we start talking about reparations, all of a sudden every group in America is against it. I would like to encourage my listeners to either watch the video clips on Instagram or read the transcript from the city council meetings entitled, quote, Culver's City Council meeting approves 50K grant for assisting impacted immigrants, unquote. Just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove. The Democrats proved to be giving to give. So say this again. The Democrats approve to give illegal immigrants that encountered ICE enforcement cash payments while the average American citizens are suffering. Make that make sense. Every time we talk about reparations, the Democrats wants a study or hold a committee. Government Wes Moore in Maryland dismissed a study about reparations. Notice the Democrats didn't tell them they didn't need a study or hold a committee. I want you to see Black America, how these Democrats treat us in real time. The Democrats have an open border policy in order to displace Black Americans politically, and they are using illegal immigrants to do it. They have not changed their agenda since the election of 2024. The Democrats are hostile towards Black Americans. They know we're starting to wake up and leave that Democrat plantation. This is American taxpayers' dollars that they're giving away. But when it comes to descendants of American slaves slash freedmen, then all of a sudden it becomes a problem. Racism is costly. It would be cheaper to pay us our reparations because we would spend a majority of the money in America. These illegal immigrants send the money back to their homeland. They're here to defend I'm here to defend Black Americans, but I don't want to remain stagnant. Those of you who are on my Facebook friends list and in my social groups, if you're not interested in fighting for the progression of Black people and African people, then please delete me off your friends list and do not come to no events with my name on it. And that's real. Global African family, I need for you to step up. I understand if some of you are parents, college students, or working 2 or 3 jobs, first help me get my revised book on that bestsellers list. Also, read my story for yourself. My revised book has been on Amazon now for 13 years and still barely selling. Items on my virtual store are also barely selling. It's just me and Sister Renee. We can't do everything. I long to be on the African continent working with Africans that want more out of life, sharing my knowledge about networking and weeding out off code individuals among us. Through my Christian business, I will hire African youth so that they can feed their families. This is all I'm trying to do for Black Americans and for Africa. But I am up against a 400-year-old mentality. Those of you Those who have rejected my vision and plan will not be part of my business because this is membership based, and I ain't going to deter from that. I am called to create the best African American business within the United States, but I need brave and smart, like minded, and Black Americans and brave and smart African immigrants to help me build the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago for credibility. I want the Black world to know my story and what my Christian business will do in 10 African nations. Once we're established in Chicago, we will use humans, artificial intelligence, and anything else to help defend Black Americans and Africans. On this platform, we are going to separate ourselves from the enemy within. We're going to create effective and successful Black businesses within African American community and within the African immigrant community, starting in Chicago. Look how Black Democrats in California sabotage reparation because they are in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites. But when it comes to illegal immigrants in California, these same Black Democrats help vote for the $50,000 cash payments for them. Where this money is going to come from, American taxpayers are going to illegal immigrants, not American citizens. Democrats are the reason why Trump got elected. These types of moves will keep Republicans in the White House and in power. If the Democrats would fight for us like they do for illegal immigrants, then they would have won the election. This is why I can't vote for Democrats. I can't vote for a party that's trying to harm us politically and economically. Say what you want to say about Trump. He is not out here actively trying to harm Black Americans. He's doing some crazy things. And yes, we may suffer a bit, but that's the cost of living here in America. If only my Christian business was up and running, then I could turn business over to my management team and expand it to South Africa. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get this film project fully funded and made, but the sooner I'm able to get my film project fully funded and made, the sooner I can expand my business to the African continent. The main stumbling block in Black America is our Black politicians and off-code Negroes who constantly sabotage the Black grassroots. That's why we don't progress as a collective. The majority of them are affiliated with the Black Boule because they want a seat at their master's table, the white supremacist financial elites. For example, on the Instagram video entitled, quote, Clover's City Council meeting approves $50K grant for assisting impact migrants. unquote. If that sister was on code with the black grassroots, she would have been siding with what the man was saying. Quote, where is this money coming from? Unquote. And if she was on code, she would have responded, quote, well, are black Americans going to get some of this money too? Unquote. This situation annoys me what these Democrats are doing. Nobody takes from their citizens and give it to foreigners who are illegal. American citizens across the board need to be in these city halls, town halls, and tell these career politicians who have who have gave them permission to give out money. In a true democracy, the public citizens will put a vote. I guarantee you that will have been voted down. Every time we want something, it has to be for everybody. But it come when it comes to illegal immigrants, they can be pacific just for them. It's just for somebody, right? So when Black Americans say we demand economic tangibles for our group or lineage, it's only for us. Once you break down the numbers, California is basically an illegal immigrant state. Their economy is based off of illegal immigration. LA County has 980,000 illegal immigrants just in LA County alone. This is why the Trump administration is focusing on LA because if they can get LA County, that will be a huge win for the Trump administration. The Democrats are all about economic sabotage against Black Americans. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you all for listening. We greatly appreciate it. Put me on blast by telling all of your friends and family to listen to our content on our YouTube page. I'm going to send out a challenge to everybody that's listening to this audio podcast. I need you all to support our film project so that we can move GRCAM beyond cyberspace and get our story on the big screen to let the Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for our people that's trapped in American ghettos, starting in Chicago. Quote, Hood Liberator, made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins, unquote. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaign either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal Giving Fund page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. I would like to thank everyone who have contributed or will contribute to support our film project on our GoFundMe page, or if you're a U.S. citizen, then you can use our PayPal Giving Fund page as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith-based and community advocacy organization. You can also purchase items from our virtual store or purchase my revised book. Ebook is $9.99, and the softcover book is $15 plus shipping and handling. We appreciate your support. You can find all of the links below this audio podcast in the comments section. Thank you all for listening to our YouTube live or the replay. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. I want to thank all of you for listening to our audio podcast on Spotify. If you are new to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, welcome to our safe space where we discuss Black issues. We do this every week. This will conclude our audio podcast for today. We will see you on the next episode. Peace and blessings. And just a friendly reminder, this coming Saturday, we're hosting our virtual interactive conference, and it's going to start at 2 o'clock p.m. American Central Time. So please mark your calendar, and if you want to be on the panel, then please send me your email address, and I will send you the instructions on how you can do all of that. Thank you all again for listening. And again, This is going to conclude our show for today. Peace and blessings.